The season finale for Growing Up Hip Hop, as I understand it. I'm saying I don't know if it's the season finale. I think TT on TT's recap, she just said that it was. She just did a recap with her and her mother talking about, I guess, their view on the show and the season. Man, so it's all the same stuff with these people. They had their whole they had the whole showcase. Egypt, a girl, JoJo's girl. I'll just say it, JoJo's daughter, from Casey and JoJo, Sequoia. That was the name I couldn't think of in the last review. She was on there. Brianna, a girl whose name I can't think of. She was smooth, but she wasn't anything too crazy. There was a rapper dude there. He was smooth, but it wasn't anything too crazy. They pretty much highlighted more of Egypt's Egypt's before. God bless Egypt. I mean, maybe they should have shown more of her performance. I just didn't understand. Egypt and the rapper dude and was a white girl that I said was smooth. I can't think of her name, but that was the thing. That was the distinguishing factor. I think that she was JoJo's Reverend son JoJo, his artist. Sequoia did not win at all. Now let me tell you about Sequoia. Crazy tale. All right, JoJo's fiance. I don't know if they're married yet. I can't think of her name either, but that's fine. I'm just doing this review this recap because I'm in the car, waiting for the rain to stop because it's raining too hard. And I don't have anything to put on to get out of the car and not get drenched. But what the hell is that? Oh, okay. So, yeah, she's pregnant. She's pregnant as hell. All right. And the last baby she had, the last time she was pregnant, the pregnancy, did not come to the baby. She wasn't able to have the baby. So this time I guess she's high risk, in a way. She, is told to not be stressed out, but for some reason the girl Sequoia, when she came in on the last episode, Sequoia came in with her mother and she spoke to JoJo's woman, and JoJo's woman said, I don't, are you the mom or she? Who is she? Trying to play like, y'all look like sisters. That whole thing that we do. So Sequoia took that as shade. You trying to say I look old? So you can't tell who's the oldest person between me and my mom. And so she's thinking like, I got beef with Angela because, and mind you, her beef is basically that Angela talked to someone that she dated before. A nutcase. Sequoia is nuts. I mean, I'm not going to keep on going on it because, I'm afraid that she might come across this video somehow. My video might get 5 views. Somehow she would be the 5th one. And she would just, try to track me down. Because if you get offended by something so natural as someone that's living in the same city as you, dating someone or talking to someone that you used to date, you might get offended by a video, a YouTuber mentioning your name when they review a show that they watched that you happen to be on, because you're nuts. That's it. That's the last time I'm gonna say it. But yeah, so JoJo's woman is so she confronts JoJo's woman, and she's like, I'm not about to do this with y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know, what's going on with the, my high risk pregnancy. I'm not supposed to be stressed out. And if y'all about to do this, I'm about to be out, and it becomes a big thing. And it's just like the girl, she keeps saying, well, you just said this. And you know how crazy girls do. Well, you said that, and I just took it this way. Let's just talk about it. I'm saying you said, and it's just like, why are you insane? It's no other way you could have had a moment on this show. It's no other way you could have debuted. You're nuts. Goodness. So that happened. And so she of course did not win the showcase. It was a 3-way tie with the rapper Egypt and JoJo's girl. JoJo's artist. And they get to have a spot or an interview with Trina and Trick Daddy on their radio show. As their prize. Brianna's performance. She's another one that I'm kind of scared to even say anything about. These people are crazy. People are just nuts. Crazy. You say you love me, but you don't. Very, people were comparing her to Erykah Badu. She did this whole, like, she wanted to have it filmed, or she wanted to do the performance she wanted to have the performance live via satellite, I believe it was. She wasn't there. She wanted it to be seen though. So I don't know. She asked JoJo could she do it via satellite, and she did. And the room was dark. She had like candles and stuff like that. She was in her fucking pajamas or some shit. Like, yeah, drunk ass Brianna. She is in this. Yeah, Brianna. So she's, like I said, she's doing this whole thing, and the brat is really like enjoying it. She makes that statement, and so when Twist talks to Brianna, he makes sure to let her know, and then they all, share with everyone that what happened with JoJo's girl and Sequoia, and nothing really too serious happened with anybody else in the show that I can recall. But the most annoying part about the show was just this whole build up to the conversation with Egypt and TT. What I found annoying with it is that Egypt kept talking about how much she had to say and how much TT did to her, and just, and it just was like, and they were doing these people that, TT got her makeup and hair done. Egypt seemed to have a fresh haircut, which I liked. And so let's just go right to the meeting. The meeting between the guys, which was Tretch, Sam, and Sean. Sam tried to do this, tough guy thing. Sean was very, and I appreciated this. Sean was like, that whole accent thing, he kind of wasn't too heavy on in this conversation. He just was kind of like a regular person speaking, and I appreciated that, and he said what he said, basically, we need to stay out of the women's stuff. But if we really have an issue, I need for you to come to me, and I will come to you if I really have an issue. And Sam, said, okay, But of course, before they got to that point, Sam tried to, get a little buck away. Sam is so, oh my gosh. He's just so childish. Just like, hey, Pop, but that's not your father, sir. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. And, Tretch was just like, when everything tried to get rah-rah, Tretch was like, he wasn't trying to, he stopped it, you know what I'm saying? And, Church, I don't know what Church had to do later, but, after, like I said, it ended with them, coming to one accord, pretty much, it was pretty much facilitated by Sean's ability to articulate himself, unlike I'm able to do on this particular scene, because I just don't remember. I just remember because I kind of, when Sam and Egypt are on the scene, it just is kind of like, come on, give me the next scene, because these two ain't talking about nothing but gross things, and they're just awful, just brain just don't, and then it stops when they stop talking, and I can enjoy or try to enjoy the next scene. So I apologize for that. But Sean was able to articulate his plan of action for them to get along in the future well enough to where Sam could just respond in kind and we move on. Then it shows Egypt, Peppa, TT, and her mom. With the guys, the brother was with them. Who knows what his name is? Just so you know, he was there. So back with the women. So Egypt comes and she's just like, you don't need to, you messed up my name. You allow people to think, are you bringing up Sam's financial issue and speaking on what's in his bank account? That messed up my name. I know I'm just a princess now, but I'm going on my way to be a queen. And you don't understand that. And if you don't understand that, if people don't understand that, that's okay. But that's what I'm on my way to do. And you messed that up. And I talked to my therapist about this, and I'm very upset about it. And she was crying and all this stuff. And it's just like, girl, all right. And TT was just like, girl, all right. TT said, she gave her the old, listen, I can tell that you are really upset and you really believe what you're saying. And Egypt, of course, was looking like, no, yeah, you don't care, because that's how I feel like that's how I would feel if someone said to me, I see that you really believe what you're saying, but you're freaking nuts. But that's the tone she was talking to her in. And that's the tone that I might have come at her with myself. Because it's like, girl, no, I probably would have just left. Because I'm just like, I don't know what type time you on. We were both, I didn't like Sam. So I was acting like I didn't like him. And that's how that went down. But I don't know how that would have messed up your reputation. Sam is on the show himself. Sam is always talking about how he, how much of a bum he is coming into the situation. And if I recall, I could be wrong. I do not remember hearing about Sam's bank account until it came out of Egypt's mouth. So I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. So TT is just like, so I know you feel the way that you say you feel, and I never want to see you upset. So I'm going to apologize to you for the way that I handled Sam made you feel. Basically, like something along those vague tail lines, like. But Pep was like, yes, I enjoy. Yeah, that's exactly what I need to hear. Pep enjoyed that, but Egypt was still shaking her head and acting stank about it. And so Egypt makes in her confessional, she says, oh, so yeah, they all hug and everything. The guys come in and Sam comes in and stinks up the room just in general. I can't smell him, but I'm aware of the way that Sam must smell. And I'm afraid to say that, just like with Brianna and Sequoia, because all three of them do not seem like they have all the screws that are needed to keep a person together and from doing stupid stuff to random people. But I'm still going to say it. He looks like he smells bad. No, I'm just talking junk. So he comes in and he goes, what's going on? And she's just like, where's Dad? She's still a baby, remember? At times. Gosh, this girl. she's like, where's dad? And he was, oh, he left. Oh, he left? So no. And then the brother comes in. So they all come in and they're all together. Sean's in there with the baby. They're all crunched in a family situation or whatever. And so the brother says, I'm so glad you all let me be a part of this. Because, why was he there? I know in the last episode, Sean did say he would love to talk to Sean with the brother and Tretch. But I don't know if it was made clear why the brother needed to be there. But either way, he was there, and he was glad at the end. He was glad he was there, and he thanked them for allowing him to be there. And that's really just how it ended, except for Egypt letting us know. TT did say, I think she did say this in her confessional. If she didn't, she doubled down on it in her recap. But she said that she just knew that it wasn't going to go anywhere. They weren't going to change how they felt. And so she just had to be the bigger person, basically. And that's what she said. No one likes to, if someone feels hurt by someone, nobody likes to hear that their apology or their acknowledgement of the issue was simply to be the bigger person, or basically to shut you up. No one wants to hear that. But in this case, I'm on TT's side, because I probably wouldn't even have gone to that job. Egypt and Peppa could have, kicked rocks. Like, good. For as long as they wanted to, as long as they needed to. I'd be in Jamaica. I had my wedding in Jamaica, and if you feel like that's, stopping you from having your stinking wedding in Jamaica, then that's on you. But I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I got my baby. I got my man. And we're good. So screw you type situation. But she decided to squash it because they're family, and her mom was, influential in that decision, strongly influential. So Sam makes his apologies, and he says that he apologizes for bringing craziness into the family. That's something else I forgot to mention, that that Tretch was saying, look, y'all brought craziness into the family, and I'm not here for it. You know what I'm saying? So they're afraid of Tretch. So Sam acknowledged that he brought craziness, and he apologized for it. And TT's mom was like, that's just how it. Let me not mock her accent. I don't even know how to mock it. I don't know what I was trying to do. I was gonna make her sound like the freaking Queen of England. She was just like, well, that's just how it is with in the Denton, when you want to be with a Denton woman, you're gonna have to deal with this craziness. And they all say, oh, and that's it. But except for Egypt wants to let us know that she can forgive and forget, but she'll never trust or respect TT again. So she gonna hold TT accountable, responsible for acting a fool on this show. You did this whole, we're Harlequin and Joker. We're just, you chose this bum. You know what I'm saying? Girl, I understand puppy love. We all went through it. I went through it in a bad way. I was dumb when I was young. I was dumb as hell when I was her age. But, thankfully it wasn't on TV. But I don't know that I tried to hold anyone else accountable for my dumb decisions but myself. Least of all, people who noticed that I was doing stupid things and tried to stop me from doing stupid things. I'm not going to try to hold them accountable, because that doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to think, if there was a person who tried to stop me from doing stupid things and dealing with these jerks or whatever, the most I would do is just, stop dealing with the person that was stopping me from being as stupid as I wanted to be. I'm not gonna, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like their issue with what I'm doing is ruining my life or my reputation, or it wasn't on TV. But I don't see how she could blame TT for having an issue with her her being with a bum and her acting a fool on damn TV. OnlyFans, a thong, boxing in a thong, a thong in the kitchen. You acting like some sort of pimp. You cut your hair all off, and you know you're Harlequin and all this stupid stuff that everyone has already done. Good girl gone bad vibe, all this again stupid stuff. Like when you're young, you just feel like everything is so brand new. But there's nothing new under the sun. So when you have someone that's older than you letting you know that you would think would be somebody like a Pep or somebody like Sam's father, letting you know that this is dumb, you might listen. You might want to, but you don't, because you're dumb. Your brain hasn't even fully formed yet. I don't know how old Sam is, but my understanding is the brain isn't fully formed until you're like 24, 25, 26. So I don't know how old these people are, but they're acting like their brains are in the incubation stages. All right, I'm about to go in here regardless of the rain, because I do have to work. But you know, that's just how that goes.